All right, we are live. This is Friday Nights with Jake. It's been a while. I apologize for that. Let me get set up here. What I do is, when I go live, is I watch the comments on this laptop so I can stay on top of what everybody's saying since I do this by myself. I think typically you would do this with two people, but all right, here we go. So, it's been a while. I've got a lot of things to talk about. Coming up, we have the Battle of the Middleweight Choppers with the Shadow Tech Python, the SE Hunglis, and the Becker BK9. It's going to be interesting. But there's not a whole lot to say about that. I don't want to tell you guys what I think is going to happen because I don't want to spoil it. Although I would love to hear what you think is going to happen. Before I go any further, also I have to apologize for not giving you guys a little bit more warning before going live here. I just figured that it's something that I need to do and I had an opportunity to do, so I'm doing it. So I want to talk about fitness really quick. I was in really good shape in the military. I got out. My level of fitness went downhill. Strength went up a bit, but overall fitness and health certainly went downhill. I'm dealing with prior injuries from the military, and last year to the day, I broke my ankle in 3 places, and I was in bed for over 2 months straight, like completely bedridden. And the reason that I was in bed for so long, it's taken me so long to recover, is because the VA's terrible health care, and they took almost 1 day short of 2 weeks to give me a surgery, and I had no pain meds for like 4 days. My ankle was like this big, and that swelling and the amount of time it took, my ankle's like this big for 2 weeks, the amount of time that it took for the surgery did a lot more damage than probably actually the break itself. So now I'm getting back into it, and I want to, so my fitness background, as my animals play in the house here, I was in the military in Afghanistan. I specifically did heavy weight training and ruck marching. When I came back from Afghanistan, had to go straight back to normal PT and a lot of running. My body kind of fell apart for a little while, but I got right back into the heavy weight training with the PT. That was a slow recovery process. And then I PCS'd or moved to Fort Campbell at the 101st. Again, I was still having really a hard time with the cardio and stuff. But I started getting good. It took a while to get back into shape with cardio, but I went from in basic 155 pounds to 215 pounds in Afghanistan. I kind of leveled out at about 190 to 195 pounds, maybe 200 at Fort Campbell, and I started competing in their PT events for the brigade, and just demolished the field. It was really incredible, really motivated to keep pushing myself. And so I came from a perspective of only doing, I was a swimmer in high school and I did wrestling, so only pretty much cardio through basic, and then only weightlifting, and then the struggle of bringing those two things together. And when I peaked in my fitness at 20 years old, 190, 195 pounds, I was really strong and had great endurance. And I saw how I progressed from different exercises and different schedules. And my diet was eat as much as I possibly can. I never ate out. I drank no soda. I drank at least a gallon of water today. I went to the DFAC, which is basically, and I just ate as much as I possibly could. So that was I learned a lot about myself and about how the different styles of fitness affected my combat readiness, because all of the competitions that I was in were based on combat readiness. And so now I'm a prepper, civilian, and I want to build a routine, get back into that level of shape, and share how I get there with you. And it's probably going to be fairly expensive. I'm going to keep everything as budget as possible. I don't have a whole lot of money to just if I could just go and spend, it'd probably cost me about $3,000, maybe $4,000 on Rogue equipment. If you're not familiar, Rogue is generally regarded as the best quality home gym equipment that you can get, and they've got professional grade equipment as well. But if I could do that, I would. It might not be very helpful to you, though. So, to back this up a little bit and tell you guys where I'm at, part of the label for this video was brute force training sandbags. And so I have a home gym downstairs, kind of like really crappy, but I've been working on weights. I've been making slight progress. Just so you know where I'm at, my 1 rep max bench is 235 right now, which is embarrassing to admit. If I could tell you a run time, it would be so bad that I probably wouldn't even want to do it. I haven't even squatted in a long time, but I've got a little bit of the foundation of weights built back up slowly, and I'm going to progress in that. But where I'm at right now is kind of embarrassingly more of a CrossFit regimen. That is, I just started back up with the brute force training bags. This is loaded with sand. This is their kettlebell. I chose to go with the kettlebell because I wanted to get a matching bag for my wife and I. The kettlebells were a little more affordable. There's a lot of exercises that you can do with kettlebells that are great for cardio and for core strength and stuff. And basically I could buy 2 of them. So that's kind of what I did, as opposed to their other sandbags, which have handles all over them. But I tell you what, I got this 2 days ago. I've used it for 3 days. I'm amazed at how much soreness I've built up in my back, and my hamstrings are just incredibly sore. And I think that this is going to be a good segue into getting back into running and ruck marching, which is the next thing I wanted to talk about. So if you could only do 3 exercises as a prepper to stay in fighting shape, I would label those as running, rucking, and pull-ups. So you've got to be able to run, period, as a prepper. If you can't run, you, I hope, are prepping to just stay alive long enough to help someone who can, because there's no other purpose. All right. Rucking, if you are a prepper, chances are whatever it is that you're preparing for is going to involve walking somewhere with a backpack, and it's a lot harder than you think when you start putting in some distance and some serious miles. And if you're kind of a beginning prepper, one thing that I would say to you is that you will overpack. Your pack will be really, really heavy, and you better know how to walk with it, or you're not going to make it more than a mile. And pull-ups are an incredible way to work out the rest of your body. Back strength is incredibly important. I can't stress it enough. Not only for rucking, but for anything that you have to do that's combat related that doesn't have to do with your legs. So those three are where I'm going to go. But I'm going to start doing videos now about the brute force training bag. I want to get a few more of these bags. I'll show you guys the gym that I have in the basement at some point. But the next thing that I'm going to do is kind of heresy to a lot of your workout guys, and that is I think I'm going to load up with some Titan fitness stuff. And I hate to say it, it's, what's up, Andrew? It's Chinese-made equipment. It's comparatively very affordable. A lot of people hate them. I think that Titan equipment is very comparable, most likely, to Schrade in the knife world, or maybe even Ganzo. But I can't afford the Rogue stuff, period. So when it comes to weightlifting, you need a power rack. So I'm all about the Craigslist life for the home gym, and I'm probably going to go out and buy as many weights as I can for next to nothing from Craigslist ads. But you got to have a power rack, because when it comes to your weightlifting regimen and how you're going to work that into your prepping, you have to have your bench, your squat, and your deadlift. You got to have them. And for that, you really want to have a power rack, a decent one, especially if you're working out by yourself like I am, which is very difficult. So I'm going to get a power rack, and then I'm going to get some strongman stuff. Besides that, I've really gotten back into strongman competitions recently, watching stuff, following guys. It's the only sport that I follow right now. And it's very exciting to me, and I want to kind of train in that direction. But the thing is, I have to train in that direction while running and rucking and doing a lot of pull-ups and a lot of this kind of stuff. Not because I'm worried about maintaining some kind of physique, but because when I just worked out strength stuff and then had to do cardio stuff for an elongated period of time, my body fell apart. And so I've heard it say that strength takes years or decades to build, but cardio takes a month, and it is not how it works. I promise you. If you believe that's how it works, you've never experienced a true state of cardio, nor a true state of stress-induced exercise that cardio entails, because your body will fall apart. So I'm going to build this system on traditional cardio, traditional weightlifting, and a little bit of CrossFit type stuff to pull it together. And I want to get some ropes and stuff as well, and certainly a sled to pull and push as well. So that's where I'm at with the Prepper Fitness. Hopefully it'll be fun for you guys. These bags are a little bit expensive. I paid $80 a pop for them. That's a lot of money. But the amount of things, the amount of exercises that you can do with this, which is just probably, they say 0 to 45 pounds. I think filled with sand, it's probably more like 35. It's still an incredible amount of stuff that you can do. And if you can't start at 35 pounds, then you can go like the wife here at 20 or 15 pounds and do the exact same stuff and work your way up. Sand is $3.60 for a 50-pound bag from Lowe's or Home Depot. I'm very, very excited about this. Also, I should mention that Brute Force Training has an app for your phone, and they update you with training workouts of the day, and you can track your fitness levels. It tells you how to do the exercises, and it puts you on a leaderboard and a scoreboard if you're lacking in motivation because you're working out by yourself like I am. So a little bit spendy. There are slightly cheaper options, but honestly, the other sandbags that are even look like they're remotely good or comparable aren't that much cheaper. And Brute Force Training's the original, and they've kind of got the best reputation, save from what I found, save for Rogue, but Rogue doesn't have as many options, nor nearly as many color options. Brute Force Training has Atlas balls, kettlebells, multiple different sizes of bags, bags with handles, bags without handles. Um, so they really are um, much more rounded in that regard. The next update for today is about Maddog. Actually, one of the things I get asked about the most is doing an update on Maddog. I just got it back. Maybe I'll do the update, but it is my 1993 Dodge W250 with a Cummins 12 valve power plant. And through my work currently, I have realized that I am going to do another business endeavor next summer. Come hook or crook, I've got to find a way to do it. I'm going to pull a coffee trailer, and I'm going to sell coffee for my daily job. And I'm very excited about that, but my truck doesn't quite look sales appropriate. And I found out the other day that if I wanted to even make it kind of decent, I'd have to swap the cab. I'm having problems right now because the mounts where the truck's cab mounts to the frame are all around the mounts. The frame's good, everything's good, except for the cab around the mounts is just rusted to crap. And so I'm going to have to sell Maddog. That's a big deal. That's a really big deal. And I think I'm going to regret it forever. And ideally, I would be able to buy another vehicle and keep this for a farm truck or a fun truck. And it's just not going to happen. It's just not realistic. So anyways, guys, that's all I've got for today. I will talk to you in the comments section below. I hope that you enjoyed the video. I've got subscribers that are both much older than me and in much better shape than me, and I'm sure that I've got subscribers that are in worse shape than me. But hopefully we'll have something that is through this series that is productive for people at all levels and helpful. And I don't know of many people who have gone to the polar opposite extremes of fitness and seen how different styles of exercising affected them in any kind of combat simulation or training or competition. And so I think that some of the experience that I can bring to the table here is going to be very valuable. But what do you think about what I have set up here? Do you think that the weight training can be eliminated? Do you think that the CrossFit can be eliminated? Or the cardio? Where do you stand on that? What are your biggest fitness difficulties and struggles and blocks? And what are your strengths? I will mention real quick, I work 10-hour day out in the Kentucky heat doing manual labor, and I'm able to get my workouts in because of pre-workout. A lot of caffeine. I'm not really happy with it. I wish that I could motivate myself to go work out without it. But to me, taking it and working out is better than not working out. So if you struggle with motivation, if your job is long, if your job is stressful, I totally understand. If you're interested in fitness despite all of these things, it might be something to consider. When it comes to pre-workout, I have, again, experience with everything from stimulant-free pre-workout to pre-workout that's 500 milligrams per serving to pre-workout that's 300 milligrams per serving. And I take 3 servings or 4 servings or 5 servings at a time, along with a second type of pre-workout that was in a pill form that I think, again, was 250 milligrams, that I take 3 or 4 of those. and that was Afghanistan, and that's not a good deal. But I've tried just about every big brand in a lot of different styles, and so yeah, if you got some questions about that, let me know. Look forward to talking to you guys in the comments section. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you have a blessed day.